100 channels. That's the most YouTube will let you run from a single account. And the second a creator hears that number, the same daydream starts up. 10 faceless channels, $3,000 a month on each one, 30,000 rolling in while you sleep. The 100 is real. It's printed on a help page. The daydream almost never is. So this is the finale, episode 20, and we're going to do the thing nobody selling a course will do. We're going to scale to multiple channels honestly. There's one move that decides whether your second channel doubles your income or just doubles your odds of getting the whole account wiped. Same move, opposite endings. Almost nobody gets it right.
K here, and I'll put the unrounded number on it first, like always. The portfolio operators you see online, the ones with a dozen channels, most of them are also selling you the course on how to do it. That's not a coincidence. It's the business model. Discount their screenshots hard.
Hey everyone, Michael here, and the part that actually is real is this. Once you've built one channel, you've built a machine. It turns an idea into a script, then a voice, then a finished video. In theory, you can point that same machine at a second topic and a third. In theory.
I'm Liam, and that phrase in theory is carrying a lot of weight. Because here's the picture people have in their head when they hear 100 channels.
It's this picture. Every channel a little tile on a dashboard. The view counts ticking up together, one person quietly running an empire from a laptop. That's the fantasy the whole niche sells. Hold on to that image because we're about to take it apart.
And here's where it falls apart. 10 channels times 3,000 assumes all 10 hit 3,000. Most channels never earn $1. So the raw math isn't 10 times your best channel. It's usually one good channel plus a graveyard of half-built ones you abandoned.
Which is exactly why cloning matters so much. If you copy one template across 10 channels to move fast, you've just built 10 versions of the pattern YouTube spent January wiping out. Scaling doesn't only multiply your income, it multiplies your risk at the same rate.
So before anyone opens a second channel, here's the question I'd actually want answered. People ask it constantly. I have one channel that's finally working. Should I start a second or go deeper on this one? And honestly, for almost everyone watching, the answer is go deeper first. A second channel is a real option, but it's the advanced move, and scene 2 is exactly why.
That's the useful frame for the finale. Earn on one, then decide. And everything we've mapped across this whole series lives in one place to make it easier, at grow.professorerica.com. A free tool directory, an earnings calculator, and the full workflow guide. Coming up, we cover when a second channel is actually worth it and how to build a system you can hand off. Plus the one trap that can wipe an entire portfolio overnight. Add your second channel only when the first one earns. That's the whole rule, and it's the move Kai and Liam were pointing at. Get the timing wrong and you don't get 2 channels. You get 2 half channels, both starving for attention. Let me put the actual decision on the board.
So picture the real fork here. On one side, one channel and everything you've got poured into it. On the other, a portfolio, 2, 3, 5 channels sharing your time. They are genuinely different bets, and most beginners pick the second one for the wrong reason.
The wrong reason is boredom. Month 4 hits. The first channel is slow and it's not fun anymore, so people bail and start a shiny new one. Now they've got 2 slow channels instead of one channel about to turn the corner. I've watched it happen 100 times.
Okay, so if boredom is the wrong trigger, what's the right one? Give me the actual test.
3 gates. All 3, not one of them. Do not open a second channel until you can walk through every one of these and say yes. Gate 1, Channel 1, is actually profitable, earning more than it costs you in tools and time. Gate 2. It runs on systems you've written down, not a process that only lives in your head. Gate 3. You have the hours or the help to give Channel 2 the same care. Miss anyone and you're not ready.
And notice what's not on that list. Subscriber count on some other channel, whether the niche is trendy, how much money someone on YouTube says they make, None of it. The only signal that matters is your own machine actually working.
Because when you skip the gates, here's the reality you're signing up for. Now it's 2 channels, both needing scripts and thumbnails, and both are slipping. You're not running a portfolio. You're drowning in one badly. And the channel that was about to work, you just abandon it right before the payoff.
Wait, so the second channel can actually kill the first one?
Constantly. Attention is the one thing you can't clone. Split it too early and both halves lose. That's why Gate 1 exists, and it's why the short answer is almost always wait.
So say you clear all 3 gates. Channel 1 earns, it's documented, you've got capacity. Now the real work starts, and it's not making more videos. It's building a machine you can actually hand to someone else. Before we keep going, one small favor that actually moves the needle. If this is landing for you, tap like, then subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the rest. 2 taps, completely free, and it pushes this in front of more people who need it.
You can't delegate chaos. That's the sentence that separates a real portfolio from a burnout waiting to happen. If your process only lives in your head, the only person who can ever run it is you, and you don't scale. Let me walk the machine from the start. It's 4 steps and they go in order. Systemize what you already do. Document it so someone else could follow it. Delegate the parts that don't need you. Then, and only then, multiply to a second channel. Skip a step and the whole thing wobbles.
Systemize sounds abstract. What does it actually look like on a Tuesday?
It looks boring, truth be told. You write down every single step you take to make one video. Find the idea and draft the script. Add your angle. Record the voice and cut it. Build the thumbnail. Every click. That written list is the most valuable thing you'll build because it turns a talent into a process.
And once it's written down, it stops being a vague talent in your head and becomes something you can see. It looks like this. Every stage a card, every card with a checklist under it, so the work is visible and repeatable instead of trapped in one person's memory.
This is also where the money finally makes sense. When Channel 1 is earning, you take part of that and you buy back your time. A script editor, a video assembler, a thumbnail designer. You're not paying for magic. You're paying to run the checklist you already wrote.
And the mechanics of it are genuinely easy. One account holds every channel you run. This is YouTube's own page. One login, and you switch between every channel you own, up to 100 of them. So the account was never your limit. Your capacity to keep each one good is the limit. That's the whole difference.
Okay, that's the part that scares me though. If I hand my channel to an editor, here's what I actually worry about.
If I hand a channel to someone else, how do I stop it from turning into slop? Good question, and it has a clean answer, Michael.
You delegate the work, never the judgment. Someone else can assemble the video and draft the thumbnail. But which idea you chase, what angle you take, whether a cut is honest and the video actually good, you keep all of that. The day you delegate the judgment is the day it becomes slop.
So that's the machine. Systemize and document. Delegate the work and keep the judgment. Which brings us to the single trap that has killed more portfolios than slow growth ever has. And it's the exact thing that got 16 channels wiped in 1 week. Here's the trap, stated plainly. The fastest way to scale is to clone one winning template across 10 channels. It's also the fastest way to lose all 10. Because a network of near-identical channels is the exact pattern YouTube systems are built to catch.
And they proved it. That January wave, 16 channels gone in a week, 35 million subscribers, and almost 10 million a year in ad revenue switched off. They shared a fingerprint. Same template, synthetic voice, the same format cranked out over and over. YouTube said plainly it now judges your channels as a whole set, not one at a time.
And that's the poison in the whole efficiency pitch, right? The thing that makes cloning fast is the exact thing that gets it flagged.
Exactly, and the account will happily let you build it. Remember, one login can run up to 100 channels, but YouTube will wipe all 100 just as happily if they're the same template wearing 10 different logos. The tool never protects you from yourself.
So the rule that keeps a portfolio alive is the same rule from episode 1, just multiplied. Each channel needs its own genuine angle. A real reason to exist beyond padding your upload count. If you can't give channel 2 a point of view of its own, that's your sign you're not ready for channel 2.
And now let's talk about the numbers those portfolio gurus wave around, because this is where honesty earns its keep. You'll see someone claim a dozen channels and millions of subscribers. Sometimes it's even true, but the same person is almost always selling you a course on how they did it. That's not proof, that's marketing. And here's the quiet part. A portfolio rarely out-earns one truly great channel run by someone who cares.
There's a second landmine too, and it's the one that actually scares me at scale. If 10 channels all lean on the same one tool, and that tool dies, every channel breaks the same day. That's not hypothetical. A major video tool called Sora was shut down this year, and anyone who'd built their whole pipeline on it woke up to a dead workflow.
So own the skill, not the tool.
Right, and that's the only version of this I trust. The angle, the writing, the judgment. That's the moat no shutdown can touch. A tool dies, you swap in the next one in an afternoon and every channel keeps running.
So we've got the real trap and the raw math. Which sets up the real argument, the one worth having on the way out of this series. Should you even scale wide at all, or is going deep on one channel the smarter play? Let's settle it. So let's have the last real argument of the series. You've got one channel that finally works. Do you scale wide into a portfolio, or go deep and make that one channel truly great? Kai says the portfolio math is worth it. Liam thinks most people should never open a second tab. I'll keep score on both of them. Kai, make your case.
Once you've got a working system, a second channel is the highest leverage move you've got. You already own the machine. Pointing it at a new topic costs a fraction of what the first one did. And a portfolio protects you. If one channel gets throttled by the algorithm, the other 3 still pay you. One channel is a single point of failure.
See, that's the survivor's version. For every operator running 4 healthy channels, there are 50 who spread themselves across 4 and got nothing off any of them. Attention is the input, and you can't clone it. Splitting a beginner's focus is the surest way to guarantee that none of the channels ever get good.
Before you go on, Kai, before the leverage point. Liam says the portfolio protects your income. Isn't spreading yourself thin the very thing that makes each channel too weak to survive?
Only if you scale before the system exists. That's the whole point of Gate 2. If channel 1 runs on a documented checklist, an editor can execute. Adding channel 2 barely touches your attention. The leverage is real. It just comes after the systemizing, never before it.
But almost nobody's actually there.
Fair, and that's exactly why the gates exist. Clear them and the leverage is real. Skip them and you just proved your own point. In theory versus in practice, we're agreeing more than it sounds.
So the real dividing line isn't wide versus deep. It's documented versus heroics. A portfolio built on a real system is leverage. One built on your own 2 hands is just a faster burnout. Liam, can you live with scale wide once the system is genuinely real?
I can live with that. My worry was never the strategy. It was people using it as an excuse to quit the hard channel and chase a shiny new one. If the system's real and each channel gets its own angle, go for it. I just want the honest order kept.
Then here's the verdict, and the record backs it. Go deep first, then wide, and only on your own machine. For almost everyone watching, the smart move is one channel done genuinely well, because a portfolio rarely beats a great single channel and it multiplies every risk you carry. Scaling wide fits exactly one person. The operator whose first channel already runs without them, and who can give each new channel a real reason to exist. If that's not you yet, that's not a failure. It's just not chapter 20 for you yet, so if you carry one line out of this entire series, make it this one. Assist, and you build something real. Try to replace yourself, and you're gone. That's a wrap on the whole series, so let's close the loop we opened 20 episodes ago. The promise was simple. You can make money on YouTube with AI, really, if you assist instead of replace. We walked the money, the niche, and the gate. We drew the policy line that wiped 16 channels. We built the pipeline idea to publish. And today we scaled it, carefully.
And the real verdict on the whole path? It's worth it for the patient builder who treats this like a craft and can wait out a slow first year. It is not worth it for anyone who needs money this month or who wanted a button to push. This was never that.
So here's what you do tonight. Not a second channel. Open a doc and write down every step of making one video on the channel you already have. That checklist is where your scaling actually begins, and it's the human layer no tool can hand you.
One final asterisk, since I've been the skeptic all series. Most people who start this quit in the quiet stretch. If you're still here at episode 20, you're already rarer than you think. Depth is what separates you, not more channels.
If this series gave you the real map instead of the hype, hit like and subscribe. We build this whole roadmap in the open, one video at a time. The full guide and that free earnings calculator live at grow.professorerica.com. And if you're weighing a second channel, the next one to rewatch is episode 4, on picking a niche that actually pays.
Here's the one we'll never fully settle, so tell us in the comments where you land.
Would you rather run one channel you're genuinely proud of, or 10 you can barely keep original? Be honest with yourself, because your answer is basically your whole strategy.
You came, you learned, you leveled up. Professor Erica here. I will see you in the next one.